So the question then comes, how can the social network theory be applied? So applications of social network theory. Applications of social network theory. Applications of the social network theory. So what are some of the uses, or how can the social network theory inform research, inform consultancy, inform advisory, and so on? So one of the areas would be in the creation of visual maps of relationship between individuals. So one, creation of visual maps of relationships between individuals. So you have a vision, or you have relationships, for example. So if you are able to create a virtual, or maybe a relationship between the various individuals or the various key players and so on, that can help in terms of informing what could be expected. Then there is also the element of assisting and assessing individuals' access to diverse. It may assist individuals to access diverse sets of skills. Assisting individuals to access diverse set of skills. Think of any operational area, whether it is operating a machine, operating an equipment, fixing something that is not working. Most of these things could be captured, say, on YouTube. So if an individual who is working in a setting where they require to enhance their knowledge or refresh their thinking, it is possible they can be able to use the social media networks where you have some repository or what you call toolkit training, so that they can be able to at least enhance their diversity in terms of the skills and be able to overcome a challenge that they are facing within the work environment. So that again is an area where an organization can be able to use. Then there's also the element of building of social capital. Building of social capital. So investing in workers is part of the process of building social capital. When it comes to a country also, a country can have a repository of knowledge so that the citizens and people who interact with that particular country can be able to enhance their skills, knowledge, and attitudes, and so on. Then that way, a country, an organization, or entities can be able to build their social capital and build a competitive advantage using the skills that their workers have. So this social network theory can underpin how organizations can build tacit and explicit knowledge sets to be able to enhance their employees in order to be able to perform competitively. There is also the issue of attitude and behavior change. Attitude and behavior change. Attitude and behavior change. So when organizations expose their workers or expose their people or expose individuals to the desired kind of behavior that those individuals are supposed to conform to, then attitude and behavior change can take place as a result of social media networks that an organization can expose its employees to. Then there is also the element of helping in the creation of power organizations. Helping in the creation of power, helping in the creation of power organizations. So when employees are empowered and are given the skill sets that are required, these employees can be able to participate effectively in decision making. They can be able to participate meaningfully in making decisions that affect their work environment. So informed organizations, where organizations have exposed their workers, have created environments where their workers are knowledgeable, they are operating on a global scale so that an employee in that particular organization is able to work and benchmark effectively. Then the application of social networks theory can also be able to assist an organization even attract the best caliber workers. So where you have these systems created, this kind of environment created, then this theory can help an organization attract and retain the best caliber staff within its establishment.